In an era where the complexities of office life can often feel overwhelming, The Economist is stepping up to provide practical solutions for its readers. The publication has announced the launch of a new weekly newsletter titled Bartleby, which will feature insights from columnist Andrew Palmer. This initiative aims to equip professionals with valuable advice on navigating the challenges that arise in the workplace. The introduction of the Bartleby newsletter coincides with the release of the second season of Boss Class, a limited series podcast hosted by Palmer that focuses on leadership and management. This podcast distills the experiences and wisdom of CEOs, academics, and other influential leaders, offering listeners a robust framework for enhancing their managerial skills. The upcoming season will encompass 15 episodes structured into 3 formats: thematic discussions, leader interviews, and company profiles. Palmer, who has an extensive background with The Economist, having served in various editorial roles since joining in 2007, is well positioned to guide this new endeavor. Palmer's extensive experience, ranging from Britain editor to America's editor, provides him with a nuanced understanding of the business landscape, making his insights particularly relevant in today's rapidly changing work environment. The goal of Bartleby is to address the real-world challenges that professionals face daily, offering them actionable advice that can lead to tangible improvements in their work lives, Palmer remarked. In a broader context, the launch of this newsletter reflects a growing trend among media organizations to adapt their content delivery methods to better serve their audiences. As traditional journalism faces challenges from digital disruption, outlets like The Economist are leveraging their expertise to provide specialized content that meets the practical needs of their readers. The strategic timing of the Bartleby newsletter also aligns with recent economic shifts that have left many professionals grappling with uncertainty. For instance, the labor market continues to show resilience, with a recent report indicating a decrease in new unemployment claims, falling to 228,000 for the week ending May 3. However, this hopeful statistic is tempered by concerns over productivity. Recent data revealed a decline in worker productivity for the first time in nearly 3 years, highlighting the pressures facing businesses amid fluctuating economic conditions. Gregory Dacko, chief economist at EY Parthenon, noted pro-cyclical productivity growth, a resilient labor market, and solid household income gains remain critical pillars of U.S. exceptionalism. However, the durability of these pillars is being tested. The economic landscape is further complicated by rising labor costs and ongoing tariff impacts, which could lead to significant challenges for companies trying to maintain their profit margins. While the Bartleby newsletter aims to provide practical workplace insights, it also serves as a reminder of the broader economic environment that influences individual experiences at work. As businesses navigate the complexities of trade policies and labor market dynamics, the need for sound advice and effective management strategies becomes increasingly critical. As The Economist embarks on this new venture, it will be interesting to see how the Bartleby newsletter evolves and whether it can effectively address the myriad challenges faced by today's professionals. With its expert-driven content and commitment to practical solutions, this initiative has the potential to resonate deeply with readers seeking guidance in a turbulent economic climate. As the world of work continues to change, the insights offered by Bartleby may be more valuable than ever. In a remarkable blend of tradition and tenacity, a Galesburg railroad engineer continues to work full-time after an impressive 67 years in the industry, showcasing the enduring spirit of those dedicated to the railroads. As the transportation landscape evolves with technology and innovation, the story of this seasoned professional serves as a poignant reminder of the human element still very much alive in this vital sector. This engineer, whose name has not been disclosed, has spent nearly 7 decades navigating the tracks of change. His journey began in a time when railroads were the backbone of commercial transportation, and throughout his career, he has witnessed significant transformations, both technological and operational. With the rise of automated systems and the growing emphasis on sustainability, the railroad industry has undergone rapid advancements, yet the core principles of hard work and dedication remain unchanged. Speaking to the Peoria Journal-Star, the engineer reminisced about the early days of his career. I remember when we had steam engines and the smell of coal. It was a different world back then, he said. His extensive experience has not only equipped him with a wealth of knowledge but also a deep appreciation for the history of railroading. He has served through various phases from the steam era to today's modern diesel engines and electric trains, adapting to new technologies while maintaining a strong commitment to safety and efficiency. The engineer's longevity in the workplace is increasingly rare in today's fast-paced job market, where younger generations often seek different career paths or may not find the same level of job security that previous generations enjoyed. His continued presence on the job reflects a dedication not just to his craft but also to mentoring younger employees who are stepping into the industry. "I want to pass on what I've learned over the years," he noted. "It's important that we don't lose the skills and knowledge that have been built up over decades." The impact of such experienced professionals on the younger workforce cannot be overstated. In an industry that faces challenges including a shortage of skilled labor, the insights and perspectives of veterans like this engineer are invaluable. They provide a bridge between the past and the future, ensuring that the lessons learned from years of service are not forgotten amidst the rush of modernization. As the railroad industry continues to navigate the complexities of a changing economy and technological landscape, the commitment of longtime employees will play a crucial role in shaping its future. Companies are increasingly recognizing the need to retain experienced workers while also attracting new talent, fostering an environment that values both history and innovation. Looking ahead, the future of the railroad industry appears promising, driven by advancements in technology aimed at increasing efficiency and sustainability. Yet the stories of those who have dedicated their lives to the rails will always serve as a testament to the enduring legacy of railroading, a legacy that this engineer embodies as he continues to work full-time. A living link to a storied past and a guide for the future of the industry. In a striking turn of events, Tesla is facing a significant leadership crisis as its board of directors has initiated a search for a new CEO to succeed Elon Musk. This decision follows a series of concerning developments primarily attributed to Musk's increasing political distractions and a sharp decline in the company's financial performance. According to a recent report by the Wall Street Journal, Tesla's profits plummeted by an astonishing 71% in the first quarter, coupled with a 9% drop in quarterly revenue, highlighting a troubling trend particularly pronounced in major markets like California, China, and Germany. As a result, Tesla's market capitalization has dwindled by approximately $900 million since December, raising alarms among investors and stakeholders. Musk's political engagements have reportedly alienated a segment of Tesla's customer base, with many users expressing their discontent through social media and even bumper stickers that read, "I bought this before Elon went crazy." This sentiment underscores a growing disconnect between the brand and its consumers, which may have contributed to the company's declining sales figures. While the leadership turmoil and Musk's distractions are undeniably detrimental, the underlying issues also reflect a stagnation in Tesla's product innovation strategy. Once celebrated for its cutting-edge technology, Tesla's product lineup now appears outdated. The much-anticipated Cybertruck, initially met with excitement, has seen a rapid decline in demand, with unsold units accumulating in parking lots. Furthermore, Tesla's ambitious initiatives in robot access and the Optimus robot have yet to materialize into viable products, leaving a void in what consumers expect from the brand. This predicament serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of effective innovation management. As highlighted by Dev Patnaik, CEO of strategy firm Jump Associates, the challenge lies in balancing immediate business needs with future opportunities. Companies must navigate the delicate interplay between now and next innovations to ensure sustained growth and relevance in the marketplace. The concept of the three-horizon framework, proposed over 2 decades ago, aimed to categorize innovations into near-term, emerging, and long-term opportunities. However, practical applications of this model have revealed its limitations. As noted by experts, the rapid pace of technological advancements means that significant disruptions can occur within the same timeframe as incremental improvements, rendering traditional time-based horizons misleading. Patnaik argues for a nuanced understanding of innovation types. Distinguishing between sustaining innovations, incremental improvements that keep a company competitive, breakout innovations, attention-grabbing products that may not sustain long-term growth, and disruptive innovations, game-changing technologies that can redefine markets. Tesla's trajectory exemplifies this framework. The original Model S was a disruptive innovation followed by a series of sustaining innovations, yet the company's recent focus on breakout innovations like the Cybertruck has left critical gaps in its portfolio. In an industry where consumer expectations are ever evolving, the absence of a lower-cost model and ongoing neglect of sustaining innovations has left Tesla vulnerable. Critics have been vocal about the need for Tesla to reinvest in its core product offerings, particularly as competitors increasingly enter the electric vehicle space with more diverse and innovative lineups. As Tesla navigates this turbulent period, the lessons are clear. A balanced portfolio approach to innovation is not merely beneficial, it is essential for survival. Companies that prioritize both current needs and future possibilities will be better positioned to thrive. The challenge for Tesla, and indeed for all innovation-driven organizations, lies in their ability to adapt swiftly, learn continuously, and prepare for the future without losing sight of the present. As the industry watches closely, it remains to be seen how Tesla will recalibrate its strategy in the wake of this leadership shakeup and whether it can reclaim its status as a pioneer in the electric vehicle market. In a pivotal moment for both Apple Incorporated and the broader tech industry, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he had spoken with Apple CEO Tim Cook regarding the company's future plans. Just as reports emerged of imminent price increases for the upcoming iPhone models. This conversation unfolds against the backdrop of ongoing trade tensions and tariff-related uncertainties that have significantly impacted the technology sector. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Apple is contemplating raising prices for its iPhone lineup set to debut in the fall. Sources familiar with the matter indicated that the company aims to pair these potential price hikes with new features and design enhancements to mitigate backlash from consumers. Importantly, Apple is keen to dissociate these price increases from the tariffs imposed by the U.S. government, which have raised costs for many manufacturers reliant on international supply chains. Despite multiple requests for comments, Apple has remained silent on the specifics. In a tweet following the Journal's report, Trump did not address the anticipated price increases directly. Instead, he highlighted Apple's commitment to expanding its U.S. investments beyond the previously pledged $500 billion, mentioning plans for building additional manufacturing plants. "He's going to be building a lot of plants in the U.S. for Apple," Trump stated, suggesting a significant shift in the company's operational strategy as it grapples with the complexities of international trade. The anticipation of price hikes has been palpable among consumers and analysts alike, especially after Bloomberg reported last month that Apple had boosted its inventory in preparation for potential tariffs. The tech giant's stock saw a notable increase of 6.4% on Monday, with shares climbing to $211.27. This surge in market confidence can be attributed to signals of a potential thaw in U.S.-China trade relations, which have seen both nations indicating a willingness to lower tariffs in a bid to ease tensions. Historically, Apple has maintained the starting price of its flagship iPhone model at $999 since the debut of the iPhone X in 2017. However, recent pricing strategies suggest a shift. The company introduced a higher price point for the iPhone 16e earlier this year, reflecting its readiness to adjust pricing structures in response to market pressures. During a recent earnings call, Cook acknowledged the financial strain posed by tariffs, estimating that Apple could face costs exceeding $900 million this quarter. When asked about potential price increases, he opted not to share specifics, stating, "We have nothing to announce today." Apple has also been actively working to mitigate risks associated with its reliance on Chinese manufacturing. Reports indicate that while high-end models like the Pro and Pro Max will continue to be produced in China, Apple is accelerating efforts to shift a significant portion of its U.S. iPhone imports to India by the end of next year. This strategic pivot aims to reduce vulnerabilities linked to tariffs and geopolitical tensions. As Apple navigates these complexities, the implications of potential price increases extend beyond corporate boardrooms. For consumers, higher prices could affect purchasing decisions, especially in a market increasingly sensitive to economic fluctuations. Looking ahead, the interplay between Apple's pricing strategies, its manufacturing decisions, and broader trade dynamics will be crucial in shaping the company's trajectory and the tech landscape as a whole. With the iPhone's pivotal role in Apple's ecosystem, the outcome of this situation will be closely monitored by industry stakeholders and consumers alike as we await further developments from both Apple and the U.S. government. In a rapidly evolving global economic landscape, the implications of trade policies, emerging markets, and corporate maneuvers are coming to the forefront as key drivers of market sentiment. Recent developments highlight the intricate interplay between these factors, particularly as they pertain to high-profile negotiations and strategic shifts within major companies and sports franchises. A notable shift is occurring in the realm of U.S.-China trade relations, with recent talks suggesting potential recalibrations in tariff policies that have long impacted both economies. Analysts are closely monitoring these developments, particularly in light of insights provided by investment professionals like Besant, who have articulated the broader implications of these tariffs on American businesses and consumers. According to Besant, the ongoing discussions have the potential to reshape not only the trade landscape but also the competitive dynamics for U.S. firms operating in China. The repercussions of these policies could be significant, affecting everything from consumer prices to corporate profitability, especially in sectors heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing. Meanwhile, in the world of finance and media, Kelsey Butler has made a strategic move to Bloomberg's emerging markets team, focusing on Mexico. Butler, an accomplished journalist with a diverse background that includes reporting on private credit, is expected to bring a fresh perspective to the team. Her previous work has been featured in major publications, indicating her capability to navigate complex financial narratives. As emerging markets continue to capture global investors' attention, Butler's insights will likely prove invaluable in unpacking the intricacies of market trends and economic indicators in Latin America. In the sports business sector, the Los Angeles Chargers are reportedly in advanced discussions with Arctos partners to sell a stake in the franchise. This move could mark the Chargers as the third NFL team to partner with a private equity firm, reflecting a growing trend among sports franchises to seek alternative funding sources amid fluctuating market conditions. The discussions still in progress suggest that the Chargers are exploring new avenues for capital that could enhance their operational capabilities and competitive edge in the league. As detailed by Randall Williams of Bloomberg News, the potential partnership with Arctos could signify a shift in how NFL teams approach ownership structures and financing. Amid these developments, Tesla's remarkable market value has sparked debate about the sustainability of its growth trajectory. Analysts have pointed out that the company's recent surge in valuation appears to be buoyed by a collective amnesia regarding previous market corrections. As various factors converge, including technological innovation and evolving consumer preferences, the company's valuation raises questions about the long-term viability of its business model in the increasingly competitive automotive sector. The discourse surrounding Tesla serves as a reminder of the volatile nature of market dynamics and investor sentiment. As these narratives unfold, the interplay between trade policies, emerging market strategies, and corporate maneuvers will continue to shape not only individual companies but also broader economic landscapes. Stakeholders across industries will need to remain vigilant, adapting to the changing tides of global commerce and investment. Looking ahead, the outcomes of ongoing negotiations and strategic decisions in both the financial and sports sectors will be pivotal in defining the contours of the market in the months to come. As global temperatures continue to rise and the effects of climate change become increasingly severe, the debate surrounding geoengineering has intensified. In a controversial move, the United Kingdom government has announced a significant investment in geoengineering experiments, igniting discussions among scientists and environmentalists about the implications of such interventions. Among the most notable initiatives is the Rethickening Arctic Sea Ice (RAC) project aimed at counteracting the alarming rate of sea ice melt in the Canadian Arctic. This ambitious project involves pumping seawater onto existing ice floes where it will freeze in place, creating a thicker layer of ice over the course of the next 3 winter seasons. Researchers plan to refreeze an area of up to 1 square kilometer, meticulously monitoring the ecological impacts and assessing the ice's resilience during the summer melt period. This initiative is part of a broader $60 million funding package from the UK's Advanced Research and Invention Agency ARIA, which aims to explore various climate cooling technologies. Established in 2023. ARIA has faced scrutiny for its involvement in geoengineering research, with critics arguing that such projects could distract from essential efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Sarah Church, a campaign manager at the Center for International Environmental Law, warned that these experiments could trigger a dangerous and distracting race to deploy technologies that may pose unforeseen risks. She emphasized the need for the UK to focus on phasing out fossil fuels rather than experimenting with geoengineering solutions that could lead to larger irreversible changes in the climate system. Proponents of geoengineering, however, contend that the global community is not moving swiftly enough to achieve the targets set by the Paris Agreement. They argue that while reducing carbon emissions is paramount, understanding the potential benefits and risks of geoengineering technologies is equally essential as the planet continues to warm. Mark Symes, an ARIA program director, stressed that cutting emissions must remain the primary goal, but noted that further research is crucial for informed decision-making regarding climate interventions. The ARIA funding will also support various other outdoor experiments, including projects aimed at brightening clouds to reflect sunlight and stratospheric aerosol injection, which involves releasing reflective particles into the atmosphere. These endeavors will undergo thorough legal and environmental assessments, ensuring they do not release toxic materials or intentionally cool the climate. The discourse surrounding geoengineering is further complicated by recent controversies involving similar projects. Harvard University's SCOPX experiment and other initiatives have faced public backlash, leading to their cessation. Meanwhile, an unauthorized solar geoengineering experiment in Baja California resulted in a complete ban on such activities by the Mexican government. As the UK prepares to host the Degrees Global Forum in Cape Town, South Africa, the international community is poised to engage in a critical dialogue about the future of geoengineering. This conference will likely serve as a platform for discussing the ethical, social, and environmental implications of these experimental technologies. The investment in geoengineering reflects a growing recognition of the urgency to address climate change, but it also highlights the need for a balanced approach that prioritizes emission reductions while exploring innovative solutions. As the world watches how these experiments unfold, the stakes remain high. The outcomes could shape not only the future of climate science but also the geopolitical landscape as nations grapple with the complexities of climate intervention strategies. In a groundbreaking study published in the International Journal of Obesity, researchers have uncovered significant insights into the influences of parental body mass index (BMI) on childhood obesity trajectories. The findings stem from the Canadian Child Cohort Study, which has provided a wealth of data on the interplay between maternal and paternal BMI and its effects on their children's growth patterns. Obesity has become one of the most pressing public health issues globally, affecting millions and leading to a myriad of health complications. Identifying individuals at risk for obesity early in life is essential for mitigating its impact. While maternal influence on childhood obesity has been widely studied, the role of fathers has been largely overlooked. This study aims to fill that gap, hypothesizing that children of fathers with obesity have an increased likelihood of rapid BMI growth, particularly when their mothers also fall into the overweight or obese categories. The researchers analyzed data from 2238 participants in the child cohort study where both parents' BMIs were recorded during early pregnancy. The study tracked the children's BMI from birth to 5 years of age, employing group-based trajectory modeling to categorize BMI Z-score trajectories. The results were telling. Children born to normal weight mothers and obese fathers had 1.86 times higher odds of falling into the rapid growth trajectory compared to those with normal weight fathers. Notably, this risk soared to 4.35 times greater when both parents were classified as obese. The mean prenatal paternal BMI in the study was 27.44, with 22.83% of fathers identified as obese. Among the four distinct BMI trajectories identified, low stable, normative, high stable, and rapid growth, the rapid growth category, representing just 4.02% of the sample, highlights a critical area of concern. This trajectory is particularly alarming as rapid increases in BMI early in life are often precursors to long-term obesity and associated health risks. Dr. Kozita Milicu, one of the lead researchers, emphasized the importance of these findings in informing preconception health strategies. The evidence supports the need for interventions targeting both parents prior to conception to optimize child health outcomes, she stated. This recommendation aligns with increasing recognition of the paternal role in child health, a factor that has often been sidelined in discussions surrounding obesity prevention. Furthermore, the implications of this study extend beyond individual health, pointing to a broader public health challenge. As obesity rates continue to rise, understanding the familial and environmental factors contributing to these trends is crucial. The research underscores the need for comprehensive public health initiatives that consider both parents' health status in shaping children's health trajectories. As the health community grapples with the obesity epidemic, this research serves as a clarion call for a more inclusive approach to parental health. Looking ahead, further studies are expected to explore the mechanisms behind these associations, potentially unveiling more about how lifestyle, genetics, and environmental factors interplay in the complex web of obesity development in children. The findings not only enrich our understanding of childhood obesity but also pave the way for targeted interventions that could lead to healthier outcomes for future generations. In today's rapidly evolving corporate landscape, one factor remains consistently vital for organizational success: trust. As companies navigate the complexities of modern business, fostering a culture of trust can often be the overlooked competitive advantage that distinguishes thriving enterprises from those struggling to keep pace. A recent article from the business journals emphasizes that while many organizations are aware of the importance of trust, few truly leverage it as a strategic asset. Trust within a company is not merely a nicety, it is a foundational element that influences employee engagement, innovation, and overall performance. According to a study cited in the article, organizations that prioritize trust tend to have higher levels of employee satisfaction and retention. Trust is a vital ingredient in the recipe for business success, states Andrew Johnson, an organizational behavior expert. It breeds loyalty, encourages open communication, and fosters an environment where employees feel valued and motivated. One of the most striking aspects of the trust equation is its impact on productivity. Research shows that when employees trust their leadership and colleagues, they are more likely to collaborate effectively, share ideas, and contribute to a positive work environment. In contrast, a lack of trust can lead to silos, miscommunication, and a culture of fear, which can stifle creativity and hinder performance. Companies often underestimate the cost of low trust, which can manifest in high turnover rates, increased absenteeism, and diminished morale. The article also highlighted the importance of transparency in building trust. Leaders who communicate openly about company goals, challenges, and successes create a sense of belonging and accountability among employees. A Gallup survey revealed that organizations with high levels of employee engagement, often driven by trust, experienced 21% higher profitability and 17% higher productivity. Transparency breeds trust, and trust drives engagement, Johnson notes. It's a cycle that feeds itself. Moreover, the role of leadership in cultivating trust cannot be overstated. Leaders set the tone for the organization, and their actions significantly influence the trust climate. Those who demonstrate integrity, fairness, and empathy are more likely to inspire trust among their teams. According to a recent report, organizations with high trust leadership see 50% lower employee turnover and higher levels of customer satisfaction. Trust is built through consistent actions over time, emphasizes Johnson. Leaders must embody the values they wish to see in their teams. As companies look to the future, the need for trust will only grow more critical. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting workforce expectations, organizations that prioritize trust will be better equipped to adapt and thrive. The push for remote work, for instance, has underscored the necessity for trust between employees and management, as successful collaboration increasingly relies on autonomy and mutual respect. In conclusion, trust is not just an abstract concept but a tangible asset that can drive business success. As organizations face mounting pressures and challenges, the ability to cultivate trust will distinguish the leaders from the laggards. Companies that recognize and harness the power of trust will not only enhance their operational effectiveness but also create a more resilient and engaged workforce, paving the way for sustained success in the years to come. As Andrew Johnson aptly puts it, in the end, trust is the currency that no organization can afford to undervalue. In an era where technology has become both a boon and a bane, the rise of artificial intelligence (AI) has ushered in a new wave of challenges, particularly in the realm of digital security. As the sophistication of AI tools increases, so does their misuse, leading to a surge in scams and digital impersonations that leave individuals feeling paranoid about the authenticity of everyday interactions. This climate of distrust is vividly illustrated by stories like that of Nicole Yelland, a public relations professional from Detroit who now meticulously verifies every unfamiliar meeting request she receives. Yelland's experience began earlier this year when she became embroiled in an elaborate scam targeting job seekers. The scammers posed as a legitimate company, complete with a polished email correspondence and a detailed slide deck outlining the job responsibilities. However, during a critical video interview, the alleged hiring manager refused to turn on their camera and made suspicious requests for personal information, prompting Yelland to realize she had been deceived. "Now I do the whole verification rigmarole anytime someone reaches out to me," she confesses, highlighting the heightened caution many are adopting in professional communications. The proliferation of digital imposter scams is not merely anecdotal. It is a growing concern documented by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission (FTC), which reported that job and employment-related scams have nearly tripled since 2020, resulting in losses that soared from $90 million to $500 million by 2024. The advancement of AI technologies has made it easier for criminals to create convincing fake identities and manipulate digital interactions, compounding the sense of vulnerability many users feel. In response to this escalating threat, various startups have emerged, such as Get Real Labs and Reality Defender, aiming to develop tools that can detect AI-generated deepfakes. Meanwhile, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is spearheading an identity verification initiative, Tools for Humanity, which utilizes biometric data captured via eye scanning devices to create unique identifiers stored on the blockchain. This innovative approach seeks to establish authenticity in a world where digital facades can be easily constructed. However, the solution may not solely reside in advanced technologies. Many professionals are reverting to traditional verification methods, employing social engineering tactics to confirm the identity of their contacts. For instance, Yelland now requests video calls with cameras on, while others utilize code words shared with colleagues to verify each other's identities. Daniel Goldman, a blockchain software engineer, emphasizes a return to basic checks after witnessing a prominent figure in his industry being convincingly deepfaked. "It put the fear of God in me," he states, underscoring the widespread anxiety surrounding digital interactions. Ken Schumacher, founder of the recruitment verification service Ropes, notes that hiring managers are increasingly asking candidates rapid-fire questions to test their knowledge of local specifics, as well as employing what he calls the phone camera trick. This method involves asking the interviewee to show their surroundings via their phone camera to ensure they are not using deepfake technology. While these strategies may enhance security, they also contribute to an atmosphere of distrust and can significantly prolong the hiring process. The impact of these scams extends beyond individual experiences and infiltrates academic research as well. Jessica I is an assistant professor at Indiana University Bloomington. Reveals that her research team has had to become adept at digital forensics due to the influx of fraudsters applying for paid virtual surveys. The screening process has become so labor-intensive that her team has resorted to smaller study cohorts and personal recruitment methods to ensure data integrity. As the age of paranoia unfolds, it is evident that while technology can offer solutions, it can also exacerbate existing fears. The checks and balances that individuals and organizations are implementing may help safeguard against deceit, but they are also a reflection of a society grappling with the implications of AI. As Yellen points out, I feel like something's gotta give. I'm wasting so much time at work just trying to figure out if people are real. Looking ahead, the balance between technological innovation and human trust will remain a critical area of focus. As businesses and individuals adapt to this new landscape, the challenge will be to foster a sense of security without succumbing to an overwhelming sense of paranoia. In this evolving digital age, the quest for authenticity will not only shape the future of communication but also redefine the very fabric of trust in our interconnected world. In a pivotal moment for European diplomacy, foreign ministers from several nations gathered in London on May 12, 2025 to discuss escalating tensions with Russia and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The meeting of the Weimar Plus Group, which includes representatives from the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, and the European Union, highlighted a collective determination to address Russia's perceived lack of commitment to peace negotiations. British Foreign Secretary David Lammy, who hosted the talks, urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to get serious about peace, emphasizing the need for an immediate ceasefire to facilitate constructive dialogue. Tensions have remained high as Moscow continues to ignore calls for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire, with officials instead proposing direct talks in Istanbul. The Russian government has dismissed the European leaders' demands, insisting that it will not accept ultimatums. In a joint statement following their meeting, the foreign ministers expressed deep concern over Russia's apparent disinterest in making any substantial progress towards peace. It must do so without delay, they stated, underlining the growing frustration within Europe regarding the Kremlin's approach to negotiations. The ministers agreed to pursue ambitious measures aimed at crippling Russia's capacity to sustain its military operations. This includes limiting Kremlin revenues, disrupting the so-called shadow fleet involved in circumventing oil export sanctions, tightening the oil price cap, and further reducing European imports of Russian energy. However, Lammy refrained from announcing any immediate new sanctions, instead noting that many of the proposed actions are already in motion, particularly those initiated by the EU as part of a 17th package of sanctions. Ukrainian officials have reported that Russian forces have continued their aggressive tactics, with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga noting on social media that Russians are completely ignoring the offer of a full and durable ceasefire starting on May 12. This escalation of hostilities was underscored by reports of over 100 drone attacks attributed to Russia during the night leading up to the talks. EU Foreign Affairs Chief Kaja Kallas, addressing journalists at the conclusion of the meeting, asserted if there is no ceasefire, there cannot be talks under fire. She stressed the importance of maintaining pressure on Russia to ensure that it does not exploit the situation to its advantage. The German government echoed this sentiment, warning that preparations for new sanctions would commence if Moscow continued to reject the ceasefire demand. The complexities of the situation are further exacerbated by the shifting political landscape in the United States, particularly with the potential involvement of former President Donald Trump in negotiations, as he has expressed interest in attending talks in Istanbul. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has openly welcomed Trump's participation, highlighting the evolving dynamics of international diplomacy surrounding the conflict. As European leaders grapple with how best to respond to Russia's actions, the situation remains fluid and fraught with uncertainty. The outcomes of the proposed talks in Istanbul and the effectiveness of the new sanctions will be closely monitored in the coming days. With the conflict showing no signs of abating, the urgency for a resolution continues to grow, making the next steps crucial for both regional stability and the future of Ukrainian sovereignty. In a groundbreaking development poised to reshape our understanding of particle physics, researchers are gearing up to test a radical hypothesis that suggests photons may possess more quantum states than previously recognized. This concept, if validated, could significantly alter the framework of the Standard Model of particle physics, a cornerstone of modern scientific understanding. The intrigue surrounding this hypothesis lies in the fundamental properties of photons, the elementary particles of light. Currently, photons are understood to have two potential spin states, which corresponds to their polarization in one of two directions. However, physicists are now exploring the possibility that there might be additional spin states that have remained elusive until now. According to Eduard Mojevsky, an astrophysicist from the University of California, Riverside, if photons can exist in more than the two known states, it could open a Pandora's box of new physics, potentially leading us to a deeper understanding of the universe. The research team has identified a method to empirically test this hypothesis using hydrogen atoms, which serve as a suitable medium for such investigations. The proposed experiment aims to observe and measure the interactions of photons under conditions that could reveal new spin states. This is particularly significant given that the Standard Model has long been considered an exhaustive description of particle physics. Any deviation from its predictions could necessitate a significant revision of the theoretical framework that underpins our understanding of the physical universe. The implications of this research extend beyond particle physics, potentially impacting our comprehension of quantum mechanics and even the development of new technologies. For instance, enhanced understanding of photon behavior could lead to advancements in quantum computing, telecommunications, and various applications in nanotechnology. As Mojevsky notes, the ability to manipulate light at a fundamental level could revolutionize how we approach information technology and energy transmission. This intriguing exploration of photon spin states comes at a time when the field of physics is undergoing significant scrutiny, with researchers calling for a re-examination of established theories in light of new experimental data. The pursuit of knowledge in this area reflects a broader trend of challenging existing paradigms in science. It underscores the importance of empirical testing and the willingness to embrace the unexpected in the quest for understanding. As the experiment moves forward, physicists remain cautiously optimistic about its potential outcomes. The findings could either reinforce the existing Standard Model or herald a new era of physics that expands our understanding of the universe. As researchers prepare to embark on this journey, the scientific community is watching closely, eager to see how this radical photon idea might rewrite the rules of particle physics as we know them. In conclusion, the ongoing exploration of photon quantum states highlights the dynamic nature of scientific inquiry. It serves as a reminder that even the most established concepts are not immune to revision, as new discoveries can challenge our fundamental beliefs. As we stand on the brink of potential breakthrough findings, the future of physics promises to be as enlightening as it is unpredictable, inviting continued curiosity and exploration into the very fabric of reality.